This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
There's a thin line between heroism and madness.
Here the line fades to nothing at all.
This is a world of Capes and Lunatics.
And nothing is off limits.
Alright, we're gonna jump right in. It's a Saturday morning. Everyone's busy. Lilith has to go to work. Charlie Esther has to watch bad television. Alright, so, Capes and Lunatics, episode 98. We're almost there. Starts right now. And now we do the jumping bounce. Hello, and welcome to the Capes and Lunatics. I am Phil. And the hardest working woman in Florida, because she keeps switching jobs, is?
Well, it's Lilith Hellfire.
Get on that mic. Yeah! Freshly awakened and freshly shaven. Live from New Jersey.
It's me, Charlie, the Professor Esser. And let me say something. You can say all you want about bad television. That is what I like about Tubi. It is, like I say, it's like an 80s video store come to life. Because I don't know about you, when you go to video stores, if you always get the new releases, I saw that in the theater. I'm there to see all the films I haven't watched yet. So yes, powerless on Tubi. Download it.
Like Blitzkrieg.
Oh, Blitzkrieg, Escape from Solid 69. A true classic of the genre.
A true American classic.
Mm.
Scroll down and check out Super Connectivity 200 for our actors studio with one Charles Esser.
Oh yes. He's so dreamy.
Charlie gets to sleep with him every night. Anyway.
And he's a monster in the sack, let me tell you.
Oh. Anyway. But yeah, because you were discussing Powerless, but did anyone see the announcement? Well, we already knew Stargirl was coming, but they shared like a picture, like an official picture of the actress.
No, I must have missed that.
Okay. Yeah.
Everyone see that?
Yeah, she's an actress. Oh, look, they stole Captain America's scales. Quit copying us, DC.
Stargirl came first.
Yeah, but did she have scales? Did she have chainmail? That I think that was something that was done by. And did Stargirl come before 1941?
I think so.
Okay, I'll give it to her. Well, no, that was Starry and.
Well,
Strike.
yeah, it's her her predecessor.
Yeah, and I don't think he had chainmail though. So.
But yeah,
I'm just saying they're stealing the chainmail.
But yeah, that is Brec Bassinger.
Any relation to Kim?
Not that I could find, but who knows? I mean, does she spell hers with one S or two? Because Brec spells it with two. So.
Oh, I think Kim spells it with one.
Yeah, I don't know. Did her and Alec ever have any kids?
Yeah, they have a daughter.
Yeah, was it that
That's
Ireland or something?
That's
yeah.
her? Oh, and she's probably Ireland Baldwin or Ireland Baldwin Bassinger.
Yeah. Remember, Alec called her a rude little pig. Remember?
I know. Well, I've done worse to my kids, so I can't really.
Child services, turn off right now.
Yeah. I told my children I was very disappointed. And as any parent knows, that is the worst thing you can say to a child. Not angry. I'm just disappointed. Because it gets right at the core of their being.
You wouldn't like me when I'm disappointed.
Oh, you wouldn't like me when I'm disappointed.
But speaking of casting news, did also on the Marvel side, did everyone see who's in talks to star in Eternals?
Oh yeah, freaking Angelina Jolie.
Angelina Jolie.
Is she gonna be Cersei?
Probably not. I mean, Cersei is an interesting character. I did love her in the in her Avengers run. But I don't see her as Cersei.
I thought they said they were going to.
There's another girl who's actually usually a blonde
But I thought they said they were going to focus on Cersei and like some other male character. So I.
Oh, okay. Maybe they'll do the Forgotten One, man.
Gilgamesh, yeah.
No, I hate when they call him Gilgamesh. Because, I'm sorry, the cow armor wasn't cool.
What, from the Avengers run?
Yes! Well, I'm sorry, Bull Armor. But yeah, I liked him when he was just a big guy in a loincloth, man. That will always be my forgotten one.
So no cow armor?
No cow armor. I just need a very, very buff guy in a tiny, tiny skirt, and I am happy.
There's my job. Charlie, you should really watch your words on this podcast.
No, then there's no fun in it.
Yeah.
Look at my butt.
Yes.
Oh,
You know, Philip, do you think I'm not aware of the words I say as I say them?
You have your Ben Rowley moment.
Look at my butt.
Look at my butt. You should. It's a lovely butt. I've got a great ass.
speaking of butts, how do you feel about DC's new, Batman's new Detective Comics logo?
Is it Robin's butt?
No, it's just the picture that most outlets are using. Batman's like facing us.
Here, maybe
posterior towards.
See if I can find it. But it's like a bat, but it says Batman and Detective Comics on it. So
yeah,
I get it because they're trying to pump up the brand because like I told you, even my comic book store guy was telling me it's like Detective usually doesn't sell.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I don't buy it, so I don't know. I can't say why it doesn't sell. I can only say it has never made me want to buy it.
Yeah, but you don't buy Batman usually, do you?
No, not usually. No.
Because I mean, my guy.
it's because the actual Detective Comics isn't him being a detective most of the time.
I know.
Those stories are something to be desired, not something that they need to work on, not just a logo. They need to work on the branding. If you say Detective Comics and Batman is the world's greatest detective, if you're still going to use that, prove it.
Or they should
would do better.
Or they should just make the book about Detective Chimp.
That too.
There we go.
Detective Chimp was in Batman Detective Comics 1000. So.
Yeah, I know. You buried the lead on me, man. I might have spent $10 for Detective Chimp.
It was a really good story too.
I'm sure it was. How can it not be? It has Detective Chimp. That is such a throwback logo.
Yeah.
That is such a throwback looking logo. That looks like that was from the 1970s Super Friends kind of Batman.
Yeah, I think that's what they're going for, because I think they figured that they've lost the youth. They need to recapture the older people that used to read. I think that's what that's all about.
Well, and not for nothing, let's look at one of their big pushes right now is the Wonder Comics line. And one of the big sellers for DC in general is their Superhero Girls line.
Yeah.
I think they're looking at, maybe comics are for kids. Maybe
in a different way. They market that in a different way than they do their other lines, though.
No, but I think that they're trying to... Maybe they're realizing that although it's great to have your great, dark, gritty reimaginings for adults, kids need to come into comics. Kids need to find... you need a kid-friendly Deadpool,
that's any big business. You gotta hope the next generation if you want the thing to keep going.
I think for recent years, I think comics in the 90s, I think comics forgot that,
Comics, you have to follow the example of soda and cigarettes. You gotta hook them young.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, really. But you'll see, you'll see this desire for, this I think goes back to the push of Peter Porker over at Marvel, even as he is being put in a real Marvel universe, he is definitely a kid's character. He's definitely meant to bring cartoon logics and cartoon joy to the comics, and to bring a bit of anime chaos.
I was gonna say, most American kids now they do read comic books. It's just manga and anime.
Well, exactly. And as much as you want Tristan, Tristan loves the dark, gritty realism of a good Venom or Deadpool, but he doesn't buy comics. He just watches the movies. Try to get him to buy the comics.
Gotta compete with those damn screens.
Yeah. Oh, did you see that? The DC Universe app. Sorry. It's offering up the full comic book library now.
Oh wait, what? They're
opening up the whole library. Yeah.
Wow.
I think that was the big push for if you try it and it's the 80 cents, now you can get all the comic books. It's better than Comixology and the Marvel app at that point.
So everything they've ever published is going to be on there?
Mm-hmm, slowly but surely, yeah.
Well, not new books. But like I can go and read.
Yeah.
I can read like Detective Comics #1, for example.
I was just thinking how long till Charlie Esser can get
No,
in
they said they're the full comic book catalog is going to be available to DC Universe.
When can Charlie Esser get an ambush bug?
Well, theoretically, that should be in there right away.
Yeah.
So okay, they got me back. You know, I was a little upset with their. Well, when Powerless went to Tubi, but not to DCU, I was thinking, what are you doing here? Well, you're too good for Powerless, DC. That's the thing. You can't be too good for your own creation. So, you know, I will definitely. Yeah.
Like I said, that's the NBC Universal kind of thing. It's the same thing with Constantine. It took them forever to release it to streaming, to release it to Blu-ray. NBC Universal is a freaking mess of a company.
Yeah,
but it's mostly Comcast, so you know what are you gonna
do? Yeah, good old cable town. Yeah.
Well, DC needs to do something because you know, again, there's always problems over there. Again, well, if you wanted me to put this on the list, Doomsday Clock number 10 delayed for the 4th time.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be out this week. It's coming out May 1st.
So yeah.
So I mean, okay, yeah.
They only teased this thing for 2 years. You know, it's not like they had time to get it ready or anything.
Is Kevin Smith writing this?
Don't! You'll make him cry. Stop.
He's a professional. And now that he gets things out on time on a relative regular basis, I'm sure he likes the fact. I'm sure he's the first one to make fun of how long it took the Evil That Men Do to get done.
He does.
You know, it's like, I'm sure he has made that joke more than once. Yeah. So okay. So
it's gonna be.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess
who cares at this point?
Yeah, well, the thing is, when you have a big event that everything's supposed to tie into, you kind of had to keep that book on schedule.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I'm sure, you know, it's supposedly this big thing with all these big changes, and I'm like, we were talking the other night, I'm sure, you know, there's creators spinning their wheels because they're like, okay, well, get this done already, so, you know, I can push my story ahead.
Yeah, I mean, you know, not for nothing, I don't know how long War of the Realms has been going on, but it's basically been, you know, that's Marvel's next big thing. You know?
Well, it's starting next week. No, they've just been teasing it for months.
Well, yeah, but they've also been like building it up in the stories, and it's like there's all these things that are going on, and it all seems to be going on time, you know.
I swear it's been like at least a year or two of Malekith just sitting there going, "Oh, look, guess what's coming." Oh.
Well, to be fair, what they're doing is they're establishing that all the other realms have been destroyed. Now we're going to attack Earth.
Okay, Phil, we should be excited. Oh, sorry. Phil, we should be excited because DC actually told Bendis no to something. Did you hear about this? They made him change the ending to Action Comics 1009.
Oh, this week's?
Yeah, they made him change the ending, so they're kind of starting to put their foot down.
Why? What was the original ending going to be?
He wanted to give him a new power. And it was like a lowest kinky thing. So they were just like, no.
What?
It was like, yeah. It's on Bleeding Cool, if you guys want to.
So, a new power for Superman, like, as if super ventriloquism wasn't enough of a superpower for any man. And it was going to be a sex power, huh?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. I was just like, well, since everyone's going after all the top secret organizations in the DC universe, Superman had to disguise himself, and I was like, Bendis, really? Is this the time and the environment to make Superman go blackface? Blackface, really?
Oh, that's not a good idea, Bendis. I mean, we like Black Superman. There are several.
But that's Clark Kent, so it's like...
Yeah, I know that. That's why that is not the best idea.
And I think him and Lois are going undercover, so I don't know if they're like... I don't know if that's like an homage to that, you know, classic Lois Lane storyline where she jumped in a machine and became black for a day. I don't know.
Yeah. Black Like Me is interesting film and book, but yes, this is not the time for that.
Yeah, if anything, they should have changed that. I totally agree. Like, it's very toned down.
I mean, they're basically going undercover as spiral agents. So, I mean, if they didn't want to disguise them as Dick Grayson, I understand. But
spiral agents that they're picking to disguise themselves as, like, is there like a reason these were the faces they had to put on?
I don't think so. I was reading an article. I think the names they were using had something to do with like an old movie or something. But yeah, I think Bendis could have made them basically look like anyone, right, Lo?
Well, yeah, he could have, yes.
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't think they're pre-existing characters. That's what I'm saying. He could have created anything.
No, but I mean, what I'm saying is, like, here's what I'm saying. Yes, obviously, he could have made them look like anyone, and he should have. But I guess my question is, like, if like, oh, well, the plotline is these are the images, these are the people they could get.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it maybe is a little less horrific. You know, if nothing else, it shows the diversity of Spiral. But yeah, if they're just like, oh, well, we'll just make ourselves look different. I don't know. Yeah.
It's like Kryptonian tech, so yeah, literally, he probably couldn't have made himself look like anybody. He couldn't have made himself look like a blonde-haired surfer guy. So I don't know.
Yeah. He could have gone in drag. When I'm done podcasting, Kristen.
I do worse than my kids.
Oh, this is something we haven't been talking about, that we haven't had our eye on it, but, you know, Epix is still doing they're going forward with the Pennyworth origin show over there, and they released the trailer. I didn't watch the trailer yet, but yeah, I did see they released that. So yeah, that Pennyworth thing is going forward.
Pennyworth origin. Is he a deadly assassin, or is he an actor?
We don't know yet, actually.
Or is he an actor playing a deadly assassin?
It's probably both. He's probably a secret agent.
I think they're going to explore his secret agent stuff, and then how he comes into the service of the Waynes is probably like the final season kind of thing.
He's probably going to be a secret agent masquerading as an actor, yeah, and then he meets Thomas Wayne. I'm pretty sure they confirmed he's meeting Thomas Wayne.
Yeah. See, this was all much easier during World War II when you had the draft, in which people, like, oh yeah, I used to work, I used to be in the CIA, but, then the war ended and now I had to find other work, Mm-hmm. Things were easier back then. You can give Jarvis that backstory within the World War II concept because that was a thing. People got drafted into the military, and they said, you would be good at military intelligence, so you go be in military intelligence. It's a little harder nowadays that we don't have the draft, and so you have to have someone who says, like I say, I've lived my life of blood and killing. Now I just wish to iron rich men's underwear.
Well,
yeah. It doesn't make a lot of sense, is all I'm saying.
Technically, Phil, you can put this under Before the Bat, because it is Before the Bat.
I was gonna say, if you want to, we could cover some stuff. It's like, hey,
I think we definitely should cover the premiere. It drops in June.
Oh, does it?
I don't even think I get Epix, honestly. I'll have to double check. Like, I don't know what this station is.
I'll have to look. I thought I checked.
I believe
we knew
Epix
it
is a premium.
Okay.
It's not. Yeah, I think it is. I can't remember if it's.
I thought it was a movie channel for some reason. Maybe it used to be.
Yeah, it's like a second run movie channel. It's like, but it's also, yeah. They do. I can't remember if it's a FiOS basic or a cable or a Cablevision basic, but it is or an Optimum basic. It is a basic movie channel in one of the bigger packages because I have had it in the past, but it is kind of has a small field.
I think the most interesting thing about this show, though, is that Martha Kane is going to be featured prominently in this, and she's played by a girl named Emma Patz. I've never heard of her, but I thought that was really interesting, considering that I've always said Bruce was Alfred's son. I'm just saying.
Yeah, well, maybe.
I'm just saying.
You know what? Maybe they are going to be exploring that. Maybe they have been agreeing with you secretly for all these years.
It's the same people that run Gotham. It's Bruno Heller and Danny Cannon. So I'm just like, interesting.
I'm looking. I don't know if my DirecTV has Epix. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure we can find a way.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably why they're doing this series. Epix wants to get on the map,
I think it might be a subsidiary of Warner Media too, which is what I'm thinking, because it is produced by the Warner Horizon side of things, which is more known for their teen stuff. So that's what just really the whole thing is just super surprising about this whole Pennyworth thing.
Well, they probably want to do Teen Batman. They're like, Gotham beat us to it.
Well, Jack Bannon.
They're doing Teen Alfred.
Yeah, they're basically Jack Bannon looks like a baby. Like, I feel old. He looks like a baby. Anyway.
Well, so
Alfred can get it.
Well, old Alfred can get it. So either way.
Who, from Gotham?
Yeah.
Whoa.
When he smacks Bruce, I'm telling you, that commanding backhand, something about it.
Does that get you hot when he's slapping kids around?
It's better than, Bruce slapping Dick. Whoa! Amazing!
Oh boy!
Get this train back on the track.
You're the one who's derailing it.
So Alfred Pennyworth, that's always cool. I just hope they figure out a way to give him a decent origin, because his origin is all over the place.
Yeah. So I
hope they give him a love of pastries. I miss Bad Alfred.
I think they might, honestly.
So, Lilith demanded it. She wants us to cover Pennyworth, so stay tuned
Just the premiere. Calm down.
Stay tuned for Way Before the Bat.
Oh, you should totally change the logo for that one episode. The Way Back Bat.
Before the Bat. God, Lord. Yeah, we have
Any other news?
One big news. Get David F. Walker on the phone. Legendary Pictures has bought the rights to Bitterroot.
Congratulations to him on that.
I am so excited about it. And I mean, like, my dream is that they would actually ask David Walker to direct it. Because David Walker is a director. He does make films as well. And I just think that would be, when you talk about, like, our current renaissance of black cinema, if you will, this is a great way for them to jump in on that bandwagon and make a cool bunch of profit on a really good storyline.
Well, honestly, I was just saw Ryan Coogler doing it as soon as I saw it. Some reason I was just like, he's like kind of the go-to.
Yeah, well, I mean,
after Black Panther,
no shame in that. But you know what? I bet you David F. Walker would do it for a better price, because he's going to get double paid on it.
Exactly.
Get him to write and direct the dang thing.
Yeah, but don't you think David Walker is going to be involved on some level in there?
Well, no. Well, they probably will all be involved, because there are 3 guys who make it.
Oh, okay.
But I think David will definitely be the. But I think David brings the cachet to. It's not just it's not like that guy writing the Flash film. I'll write it. I'll write the thing myself.
And that's why you got fired.
Yes. But David F. Walker is actually an established filmmaker, writer, and director. I think mostly indie films, but that's where a lot of the best.
Well, that's what Bitterroot, if you envision it, when you think about it, that's the aesthetic.
Well, yeah. But the idea that you can do it as a big 1920s costume drama with that budget, and you get this kind of an indie director, that is not for nothing. Let's face it. What was Korg doing before Ragnarok made $1 billion? He was making little indie films. Hey. What were the Russo brothers?
Oh, I thought you meant the character. I was just sitting around. Hey,
I cannot remember. I cannot remember what his name is. I'm sorry.
I can't remember.
TW.
How to pronounce it.
What was TW do? We're just going to call him TW. Hey, TW. And he's got a new show on FX. He's got What We Do in Shadows, the series.
Oh, yeah. I've got that on the DVR. I haven't seen it, but I've heard great things about it.
I've heard, I've heard like some...
I heard it's Always Sunny, but with vampires, basically.
Well, what I understand is, like, it really picks up when you get the energy vampire, and then there's another character that they... Basically, I don't want to spoil it, but there's one of the vampires isn't like a traditional vampire. They're like an energy vampire. He's one of the first characters you meet. And then you have stuff that happens with him that really that opens up the show in such a great new way. So that's what I've heard. I really do want to watch it as well. So it's, like comic books, there's just too many good TV shows. Yes.
Is Miracle Workers over with? Because I know it was a limited series.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's over with. The season has ended.
Yeah.
And it ended well. It ended wonderfully. I mean, honestly, I don't see why they can't come back to it. Especially since we kind of have a bit of a redemption arc for God in it.
Doesn't that defeat the purpose of a limited series, though? Like, I think that's what happened to Under the Dome. It's like, just let it be.
They milked it.
Let it be.
Yeah. But it comes, I guess there's a lot of different... Honestly, I really want to see more of this cosmology of this universe. Because it seems like all the other universes, it's almost like they're vanity projects for these celestial beings. And Earth is like the one that's actually interesting and complex, and that's like its point, is that, humans have free will. And
plot twist, it was the bad place all along.
Yeah, well,
Am I supposed to know what that means?
Oh, gosh,
other people truly are hell.
Yeah, well, but it's honestly it's such a great show. I do like it. Is definitely something Charlie Esser would like.
Yes, Buscemi as God, yeah.
Oh, and it's got Harry Potter in it.
Poor Daniel Radcliffe. He just tries to go against typecast, and everybody's like, "Nope, you're Harry Potter. Deal with it."
But you know what? You got to embrace
you're
that.
naked.
He was like, "I wore horns. I got naked in a play. I showed my dong. Come on." That's my drop.
The best he can hope is to be like Ron Howard and someday be known for being Richie Cunningham. No. Ron Howard, I mean, everyone will still say, "Oh, it's Richie Cunningham." If they don't call him
when you're old. I'm like, yeah, the guy that directed him.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, Bryce Dallas Howard's dad. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah. So there you go. So that is the hope for Daniel Radcliffe. He will eventually live long enough that the people that knew him as Opie will die.
I can't wait to cut this up so
they won't know him as Harry Potter anymore.
I freaking hate you so much.
But the fact of the matter is that he did it just after. And the fact of the matter is, like, great. It's Harry Potter, and now he's showing everyone his dong. He can be in.
I want to be a serious actor.
And no one's stopping him. But he got famous doing something else, And it's not a shame. I'm sorry you were in a $1 billion movie franchise when you were 13.
So between the movies and the plays, I don't know.
Such a hard life.
Well, no, I was going to say...
Child actors, let's just hope he doesn't go the way of 80s child actors.
Macaulay Culkin.
That's 90s.
Between the movies and the plays, Daniel Radcliffe was always acting with magic wands.
Basically.
Okay, yes.
He's like, moving on. I'm not going to get caught.
Charlie Esser get all classy all of a sudden. All right. Well, should we get the comics?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Let's do that.
Phil's Comics Corner.
All right, we already discussed it a little bit, but Lilith, how do you feel, like in this latest Action Comics arc, how do you feel that Amanda Waller knows Clark Kent's secret identity?
Because she's Amanda effing Waller.
Wait, is this like news?
We're getting back to that.
Well, yeah, Charlie, it's life under Bendis.
Yeah, but doesn't she know everybody's secret identity? She knows Batman's secret
identity. She basically just showed up their apartment. She's like, Superman,
I need you to get
Leviathan is coming after us all.
But yeah, I'm glad they're kind of getting back to that. Amanda Waller is a BAMF, and she don't give no Fs,
And they showed her working with General Sam Lane.
Yeah, exactly. So
General who?
Lois's dad.
Oh.
Who's a general.
Not to be confused with General Ivan.
I didn't hear the lane. I thought you said his name was General Stanley.
Yeah.
We're going to have one eventually.
And a few issues ago, Bendis had Lois tell him, "Oh yeah, by the way, my husband's Superman."
One of his greatest enemies is not Lex.
Really? General Lane is Superman's greatest enemy?
He hates Superman.
He hates him.
Okay.
And he was barely tolerating Clark's.
I was going to say, it's been a tense in-law relationship for quite a while.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that it was a terrible character arc in the first 6 issues of Action, but it's actually kind of turning around. I think that Bendis is getting more editorial oversight, which is what's making it somewhat slightly better.
Guess we'll see where the Leviathan goes.
You need a good editor. People always forget this. Is everyone says, "Oh, let the artist just create." It's
no.
Yeah, exactly.
You reined in.
You people think I can just let Charlie Esser run amok? No.
They're like, wait, super conductivity's edited? Are you sure, Phil? I'm kidding. It's a stream of consciousness, and I love it.
Oh well, you know, hey, I appreciate. Trust me, I can hear all of the edits you put into between me and Maz. So, no, and I appreciate it because it makes it sound much better. You know,
I try.
It takes like 2 hours long.
I keep all the good stuff for myself.
I was wondering why all those episodes are like a half an hour. That's a little hellfire. Chop.
No, usually they usually keep it to 45 to 50 minutes, and you know.
Yeah. I always shoot for a half hour for those. You know. Because
like
we've got a show to review.
They have to do 2 usually.
What?
Because they have to do 2 a night usually when they do record. So that's why he tries to keep it down to that. But no. I keep all the good stuff for myself. But I don't ever try to run for a politician, Charlie. Episode 5 of,
No, Charlie, do run for politician. Love Hellfire's retirement and sit it on her hard drive.
Yeah, no, that's honestly, I'm a little too old to run for politics nowadays, you know. I've not done anything with my life.
You're in your 40s. I mean, Trump.
That's like prime time politicians.
I mean, Hillary and Trump were like what, like 70 when they were
90?
But they were. Well, okay, not Trump. Well, Trump was in the public eye prior to that. You can't just show up and say, "Hey, I was a guy."
But you're from Jersey, home of Booker. You know, you can do it if you wanted to. I'm just saying.
Cory Booker had a job before he was senator too. You know?
Chris Christie.
I mean, he was mayor. That's nothing.
Okay, so I could run for mayor of Newark.
Chris Christie.
I don't know if I'm going to beat Baraka in the next election, but yeah, I could certainly try. I'm down.
We need you to run for mayor. You know how it would boost our numbers. Come on.
Yeah. Oh my God, he'd be the new Adam West. He'd be like the Adam West of Newark.
How awesome would that be? It's like, hey, welcome to Capes and Lunatics. It's me, Phil. It's Lilith. It's Mayor of Newark, Charlie S.
Yeah. I could make it happen. I'll look into it when they.
Alderman, something.
I could run for alderman
in New Jersey, or is that in New York?
No, we've got councilmen, and yeah. I don't know if we have aldermen or not. Shows how involved I am in local politics. So yeah,
they're doing better than a lot of politicians. Just
yeah, if I just want to show up one day and run for politics, certainly I could do that. You know, like anybody else. This is a free country.
I'm into the politics. Anyway, Lilith, are you still reading Shazam?
Yeah, of course.
I figured. Are you still enjoying it?
I am. They're making some interesting choices, but you know.
Yeah.
Wait, aren't you no longer reading DC Comics?
I'm not tied to it anymore. Like I felt like very necessary. I had to read like the big 7 every month. Like
there's caveats, Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm not reading like I got Action Comics. I didn't actually buy it, so that's why I read it.
You mean Detective?
Yeah. No. Action Comics that I read this week. I didn't buy it. It actually showed up in my inbox. So I was just like, oh, okay, I'll read it. But yeah, after Detective Comics, I don't think I'm going to be reading much Batman.
I was going to say, you're basically just reading what, Shazam, Aquaman.
Oh, Mira Tiebreaker was pretty good too.
Is that the miniseries?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The artwork is so stunning too.
But
yeah, no, Shazam is, like I said, it's interesting. They're trying to establish it for a new generation, and you can totally tell. And they've kind of lost some of the charm, but the new stuff that they write, it's good. I see what they're trying to do. How do you feel about it?
I'm enjoying it, but I don't know if it's I want them to move on from this, like, the Magic Lands thing already.
Oh, really? Because that's some of the more interesting.
Oh. Well, that last page piqued my interest.
You know, yeah, I figure. It
looks like
humans
Black Adam's about to jump in.
Yeah. And then, Darla's in it, so that's good. And it's Jeff Johns, so,
Yeah.
I was surprised, like I said, to see Jeff Johns actually writing Shazam. And I think he's going to do for Shazam what he did for the Green Lanterns with the whole emotional spectrum and stuff like that. I think he's going to put something interesting into it. So, we just got to wait. It's only issue 4.
Yeah. We have to write for the trades these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
All right,
Well,
and
we also have a big movie tie-in coming up, so you gotta.
yeah, true.
That's good. That will be the premiere book in after what, next week? Yeah.
Yeah, next week will be our review.
That is, but gotta remember this. They're pinning a lot on this. This is their new Superman.
And and he should be. They actually should have started with Shazam, but that's the whole thing anyway. But no, everybody's been saying really good things about Shazam. I'm so happy because I think it is a really good movie and it's fun and it's a good family film, which is what DC desperately needed. So
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I'm very excited, and there's been a lot of talk about with how basically the war is over. There never was and never will be a rivalry between the movies. It's just the fans that can't let it go. That really they're just two companies trying to make good movies. And
well, no, Marvel's trying to make a good movie. DC's just trying to turn a fast buck. There is a difference.
Well, okay.
And hopefully AT&T will sit down and really evaluate. Hey, get your head out of your beep.
Yeah.
And let's actually make good films because good films make money usually.
Exactly. If a film is good enough, it'll make its money back. Unless it's Cleopatra. But that's
that's a whole nother
head in the beep.
Yeah. Well,
I'm probably not the curse.
In the butt.
At 8:30 in the morning here. Oh, Super Sons, the Polarshield Project. Did you read it?
The what?
The Polarshield Project. You didn't read it?
What the newest is?
It's the DC Zoom imprint one with
Oh,
the little kids.
That thing. No, is that out already? I didn't see it.
Oh yeah, I have it. I'm assuming it's out. It was supposed to be out on the 27th, so I'm assuming it's out.
No, I didn't get it.
It's a $10 book though. I will just tell
Another
you that.
one this week.
Oh, that's the novel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't read it. Is it good?
I think little kids will love it. Yeah, it was adorable.
That seems pricey. I haven't priced a book recently. Of course, I mostly buy my books at dollar stores. So,
yeah, but is it like a hardcover or something though too, or no?
It's like one of those little kid books, not quite soft and not quite hard. One of those kind of things. I forget the exact term for it, but
There's my drop.
Philip, I'm gonna beat you up.
Just don't put that. It's one of those little kids things at the start of the drop.
No.
That changes the context way too much. Talk about not being able to run for Congress.
She's in Florida.
Never planned on it. I'm a behind the scenes, write a speech, run your campaign kind of person. I would never.
Oh, there we go. I just gotta go up here and I can be mayor.
So when you do run, give me a call.
Exactly.
She's the evil power behind the throne.
Did you read Dial H for Hero?
No.
I didn't either. I meant to pick it up, but I heard good things about it.
I didn't realize that was out this week because I didn't see it when I was. Might have gotten picked clean.
Because that's like.
I didn't go.
This is another Wonder Comics book too.
I was gonna say that's like the last one, right? Because everything else is out already.
Yeah.
I do like that imprint, though. Yeah,
I was curious about it, so I'm gonna try to find it.
Still reading Naomi, so.
Oh yeah, well, Naomi's really good.
Yeah. That David F. Walker guy, he's pretty good writer.
We really should get him on the phone.
We should. Oh, we had him on the phone once. Hopefully, we didn't clear the deal.
Walker on the phone.
Okay, let's move over to Marvel.
Oh, Marvel.
Sure.
We kind of talked.
So many good things. Fantastic Four, Superior Spider-Man, Belit. I don't know if that's how you pronounce that, but Belit. That is basically we're not going to make the same mistake we made with Red Sonja.
There were mistakes with Red Sonja? Oh, you mean they don't want to lose the rights to her?
Yeah, because they, because basically Red Sonja isn't really the Haggard property, but she was based off of it, and then when they let Conan go, they didn't fight for Red Sonja. So, because they could have kept Red Sonja, but they didn't, and that was their mistake. And I don't think they're going to let that happen with Belit. I think Belit, because Belit is actually much more like the actual Haggard story of the Pirate Queen Sonja, because it is the Pirate Queen Belit, and this is her starting origin. I tell you, ancient world technology is a very strange thing, because here they are, they're in like a full city with pretty advanced looking ships, you know. Ship that I don't think existed at this point in prehistory, but
Mud flood. 2 words
Yeah.
for you. Mud flood. 3. Mud flood conspiracy.
Mudfoot conspiracy.
Mud flood conspiracy.
Oh, Mudfoot conspiracy. Oh, yes. Well, you know, it's all that Atlantean technology, you know, before it. Because I do think the Hyborian Age is supposed to come just after Atlantis sunk. So there's a lot of leftover Eternal and Atlantean technology that's sort of muddying up the place. So, you know. Before the next great cataclysm that leads to the Age of Heroes. Probably a meteor or something will hit.
All right, Charlie, you're probably going to say... I recommended this. You probably didn't read it. Did anybody read Spider-Man Deadpool 40?
Yeah!
Yeah, I read it.
Nice! Everybody read it, yes.
Yes, it has who in it? 2 people. That you know I had to pick it up. Why they're not on the cover, I don't even know.
Gwenpool.
And... Otto!
Yes, Otto, yes.
Yeah, this is good. Oh, man, heartbreaking with Gwenpool, too.
Talk about being trapped in a perpetual crossover event.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's the whole point of this arc. They're making fun of like all the big
Yes,
crossovers.
exactly.
Yeah, but you know what's kind of interesting about this? Have you seen Superhero or Supervillain Bowl on YouTube?
No.
Okay, my son watches it like twice a day. Supervillain Bowl? Yes, and it's basically these Australian animators, they made this thing where they just have every villain from every movie. Yeah. Yeah. They have a lot of villains from like movies and comic books and crossover and all these things. So you've got Godzilla and King Kong and Deadpool. Yeah. And yes, no Scar. And all these different characters. And they all fight, and it's like a battle royale. And it just reminds me of this because basically if you watch the series, spoilers for it, it gets revealed that there's basically this being who's like has all of these characters and he just makes them fight over and over again.
So Secret Wars, okay.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Well, actually, I'll tell you this much: this guy very much reminds me of the Interferer from Ambush Bud. So,
oh, it's Deadpool, so it's his secret war.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay. Charlie Esser, our Otto Octavius expert, when did Otto get shoved down someone's pants?
Whoa!
It was at a Wings game, apparently. No, that's something we do in Detroit, is you throw octopuses down.
Okay. So talk about your penalty box.
I don't think anyone else does that. I think that's a very unique Detroit tradition.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't know why we do it. It's not like octopi are native to the Great Lakes, but that's our thing, man. Stanley the Octopus. You throw it out. That's for good luck during the Stanley Cup playoffs. So,
and just the line that I'm surprised has never made it into a Deadpool comic before. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down that fourth wall.
There you go. And, well, you know, and he is all 90s out, so that makes sense, you know?
Yep.
They're definitely going back to that traditional 90s look for him. Even got those square guns.
Pouches and image inducers.
Yes.
Those grenades hanging below his belt. Hey-oh.
Yeah, but make sure they're not the kind that blow your junk off. Yeah. No, it was great. And like I said, seeing Gwen back with her power to get into the gutter is... You know what? It makes me happy that they gave her power back because they depowered her over at West Coast Avengers, and you know, nice to see her have this power again to cross over. And they actually, they have her crying a bit when she realizes that the only person she could draw in was Deadpool. You know, all the things she's tried to draw. It's very. Well, the artist is really putting a lot of emotion in that character's face. You know. And the artist does a really good job in this, I think. And Otto was just fantastic, especially where he's like, yeah, I've been all these other Ottos too. It was good. It was good.
Mm-hmm. Lilith, did you have something? Lilith?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
There we go.
So something that just slipped my mind. We really do need to get Kelly Thompson on the phone because she just started writing for Archie Comics, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, like the original good, cute Sabrina the Teenage Witch, not the evil one.
Oh.
They just rebooted it over at Archie, and it was so good. Like, I was just like, how did I not know she was writing Sabrina? Like, how did this slip my mind? And I picked it up, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so good. Charlie, you would love it.
I'm gonna have to. I love the Groovy Ghoulies, man. That was my jam as a kid. But yeah, I would love to pick up the new. I'll ask my comic book guy to get me the new Kelly Thompson Sabrina next week.
Yeah.
If there's not one on the shelf, I will definitely get
All
that.
right, I will reach out.
Okay. I will make it so.
I have a little girl on my podcast who would like to talk to you about.
I read girl comics.
I was talking about you.
I don't kowtow to your gender stereotypes of what is a good comic book, Philip.
I was talking about you.
Okay. I love My Little Pony.
So many drops today.
Anyway, want to talk Fantastic Four?
Sure, yeah, I don't care. I didn't know what you wanted to say for Super, but no, that's fine. We got plenty of stuff. No, that's fine.
Guy in charge. You're
No.
supposed to be saying, "Let's talk this, let's talk that." You know, we can talk Avengers No Road Home. I read a books for once, Philip.
I know. Okay, talk Fantastic Four. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I don't know what Lilith has read, so I'm trying to, so we can have a community. You know, we can do Marvel Comics Present.
Did you read Daredevil?
Don't put me in charge. I'm not good at that.
Did you read Daredevil this week?
Yes, I did read Daredevil this week. Thank you, Philip. This is all I ask. And Lilith is trying to talk. Lilith, are you having problems being heard?
No, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, there we go. Okay, I don't know. I saw the little things, but I worry when you go quiet. Yeah, Daredevil, that was neat, and it was neat that he gets rescued by who he gets rescued by. I don't know if we want to do the spoilers.
Spoiler at the end. Yes.
It was the Punisher. It's neat, especially because, I mean, just the fact that Daredevil is still so certain he's being framed for murder. And I don't think so, man. I think he's just off his game. I think that's what it's got to come down to. It's just, dude, it's not a conspiracy. You just made a mistake, and you are going to make mistakes.
But it's just
and maybe you need to think a little. You maybe think a little harder about what you do. You're not freaking. This ain't 1967 anymore, where you're 20. You know, you're at least 25 now. You know.
It's Modern Comics. He's probably 20. It's in Modern Comics. He's an old man of 29 or something.
Yeah, you know, he's like almost 30, or maybe even already 30. You know, he's been around for a long time, even in comics continuity. You know, he has a history, and he has a lot of history of getting the Terwilliger beat out of him. You know, and so I think it's fair to say that he killed that guy accidentally, but he killed that guy. And the fact of it is, like he says, you have killed people before accidentally. Like, yeah, but now I'm better. Now I don't kill people accidentally anymore. It's like that's not a thing you can do. You know, like, you don't know this guy's medical history. You don't know what his heart can really take. You know.
But I just love the fact that the Punisher buys the whole story because, you know, he saves Daredevil from the cops. Then he's like, oh, I'm glad you finally see the light.
Yeah, well, you know. Fair enough. And I like the cop saying, you know, we don't perp walk the guy. He says we don't perp walk all other cops because, you know. And it's fair. It's a fair cop, you know. Like you know, this cop clearly has a grind out for Daredevil, but at the same time, he also clearly does not get it. You know, that there's clearly a culture and a relationship here that, you know, just like we saw in the Daredevil series, you know, with the cops not really trusting Mr. Fisk, you know, and seeing that, you know, Fisk being where he was is kind of a slap in the face to the cops, you know. So I think that's a powerful aspect of this story. But no, I totally think just from everything they're doing in it, I think he's being I think he's deluding himself, or it's all Mysterio. One or the other.
No, plot twist, it's Calypso.
Ultimate Spider-Cast.
There we go. I mean, it could be anybody really, and actually, you know what I was waiting? I was waiting for it to be Bullseye that saved him. For just no, I don't want you rotting in a prison cell.
Oh no,
you're an outlaw now, man. I want to bring you into my world. Some kind of craziness about it. That would have been cool too. But that it was Punisher makes sense. Although honestly, that the Punisher just had the time for all this, I don't know. Especially when you think it's like, oh, I know he'll be here where he's captured, so I have time to set up the remote control machine gun. Don't think too hard about that. Don't think too hard about the prep time that the Punisher put into that story.
Punisher has remote control machine guns on like every rooftop in New York City.
Yeah, that's a lot of prep. That's all I'm saying. But no, I really liked it. It was very good. I like this Daredevil story that they're doing. But yeah, I kind of feel almost like if they do reveal that, yes, it was my diabolical plan all along. I am your greatest enemy, Stiltman. Ha ha ha. No,
it'll probably be like Daredevil's version of Mysterio. It'll probably be Mr. Fear or something. Because he can
I'm just saying that diminishes the power of this story.
Mm-hmm.
That what makes the story good is that it is that you have this very real question: did Daredevil accidentally kill a guy?
Well, I think that's the point. You're supposed to doubt it. So you're supposed to be like, is it a conspiracy or has he lost it?
Yeah, I think he just lost it. And honestly, I think it's a better story if he just lost it and has to confront that reality of being a superhero,
Mm-hmm.
Because even though, I know exactly where to hit a guy and I know exactly what's going on in your body as I'm doing this and I don't have a natural front, as he says, I think that makes for a good story, Anybody read Avengers No Road Home?
Yeah, why don't we say that for super connectivity because our time's almost up and I think Lilith has places to be.
Yeah, okay, so we'll save all my books for that. You guys got all your DC books in there. I have one little reference to Belit and Daredevil, but that's fine.
We talked Spider-Man Deadpool.
Oh yeah, Spider-Man Deadpool. We got that one in there. That was a good book. And Lilith read it too. Well, she's got to get her hair fancy for the job.
She's on the job. Is she a cop? What? All right.
I don't know.
All right, so let's get out of here. Lilith, you still there? She's doing her hair as we speak.
Yeah,
all right.
Okay. Well, if they would like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way. Am I going too fast for you, Philip?
No, go ahead.
Okay, if they would like to write to me in that old-fashioned email way, like our ma's and pa's once did, they can always do so at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, @thegmail.com. And, of course, you can follow me on the Twitters as I live tweet The Orville and Gotham and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Cloak and Dagger, which is coming back soon. At Charlie Esser, that's CHARLIESSER. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
There it is.
But yes, Miss Hellfire just messaged me. Her internet dropped out, so she just said, finish without her.
Okay. Well, you can always find her at adventuresin fangirling.com. And
at Lilith Hellfire on Twitter.
Yeah.
The Dark Corners at the comics universe, But yeah, send your thoughts on.
So find her on the gram.
Yeah, and send your thoughts on comic books, but send your thoughts on the Shazam movie because next week we're going to be doing our Shazam review.
You can even call in, and how can they call in, Phil?
Oh, well, they can call in 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES to leave a voicemail, or you can email capesanlunatics@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter, @CapesLunatics. So yeah, send your thoughts. Episode 99, Shazam. So
Shazam! Sergeant Carter. Sergeant Carter. Something like that.
All right, so for another week, well, we and Lilith Hellfire have been the Capes.
Ampersand.
The Lunatics.
Yay! Oh, that was a good episode.
Oh, yeah.
Maria Marconi.
Yes. Stay tuned for Super Connectivity, where we discuss Superior Spider-Man, among other books.
You can give a comment when you get on here, Chris. Or do you want to give a comment before we leave?
I just want to play.
Okay. Oh, you can play on the computer when I'm done with the podcast. Yeah. No, 1 of an hour. Okay.
Right, super connectivity with Charlie Esser Family Man.